Welcome back to Education Excellence, my dear friends. Let's continue with shares and dividend exercise 3C. Question number 2, 3C, page number 37. Mrs. Kulkarni invest 1,31,040. So, exercise 3C. Question number 2. Investment 1,31,040. Mrs. Kulkarni invests rupees 1,31,040 in buying shares of rupees 100 at a discount of 9%. So, face value rupees 100. What about the market price? Sir, it will be 100 minus 9% of 100. So 100 minus 9, that's going to be 91 rupees. So investment available, face value available, market price available. Can you find number of shares? Yes, sir. Number of shares would be investment upon market price. How much is the investment? 131,040 divided by 91. So we'll be able to find out 131,040, 1,440 number of shares. Mrs. Kulkarni invests 131,040 in buying shares of rupees 100 at a discount of 9%. She sells worth 72,000 of shares at a premium of 10% and the rest at a discount of 5%. Find a total gain or a loss on a whole. The question is very simple. They are not mentioning how many shares we are selling, but it is mentioned that shares of rupees 72,000. That means they are talking about shares of nominal value 72,000 was sold at a premium of 10%, and the remaining shares of whatever nominal value left out with us, those were sold at a loss of 5%. So there is no need for us to find out the selling price of each share. What we can do is, in a simple way, as we know, we are holding 1440 shares. So the face value of 1440 shares would be 1440 multiplied by 100. So 1,44,000 is the face value, of which shares of face value 72,000 was sold at 10% premium. Balance 1,44,000 minus this 72,000. So the remaining shares will be again of 72,000. They were sold at a loss of 5%. So how much will be the premium composition? So 10%. So 72,000 into 10%. That would be 7,200. So my total sales would be 200, 9 and 7,900 for this portion of the shares. This was sold at a loss of 5%. 72,000 into 5%. Now how much this will come up to? 3,600. I made a loss, so I'll have to subtract. So my net sales would be 4,000, 68,000. So my total sales or total sale proceeds would be 79,200 plus 68,400. So my total sales would be rupees 1,47,600. They are asking us find out the total gain or a loss. So my total gain is going to be my total sales 1,47,600 less my total cost 1 lakh. How much was my total cost? 1,31,040. 1,31,040. So that will give me how much? 560 from here. 61 rupees 16560. So my dear friends, the question was quite simple. Let me make you understand one more time. It is given that Mrs. Kulkarni has invested 131040. The face value of the share is 100 rupees, whereas the cost at which she bought is at 9% discount. So face value is 100 minus 9% would eventually give us 91 rupees. I will find out the number of shares. My number of shares would be 131040 divided by 91. So I am going to get 1440 shares. Since this 1440 shares had a face value of rupees 100 each, so the face value of all 1440 shares would be 1,44,000. They mentioned that shares worth 72,000 was sold at a premium. Premium is always on the face value. So premium on 72,000, 7,200. Total comes up to 79,200. And the remaining shares, 144 minus 72. So 144 minus 72, 72,000. They were sold at a loss of 5%. So premium or a discount. Now this was sold at a discount. So for us it is a loss. That is why I am computing a loss of 5%. 5% is 3600. When I subtract, I get 68,400. So my total sales would be 79,200 plus 68,400. This has been done over here. That means my total sales is 1,47,600, of which my cost is 1,31,040. So my net gain would be 16,560. Let us move on to question number 4. Question number 4. Gagan invested 80% of his savings in 10% rupees 100 shares and 20% premium, and the rest of his savings at 20% rupees 50 shares at 20% discount. If his income from this shares is 5600, quite interesting. We are making use of percentages. Let's mention that Gagan investing 80% of his total savings. So we are not aware about what is his total savings. We have an option. Either you can take total savings as X. What will happen if I do so? In that case, I'll have to find out fraction. Because 80% of X would be 0.8X. Or 80% of X would be 80X upon 100. We don't want unnecessarily fraction should be there or a decimal should be there. So what I'll assume, let the savings of Gagan be rupees 100x. You can't even take 100 rupees also, because when you say his savings is 100 rupees, you are specific. That means you are aware about it. So what is his savings? So we cannot follow that his savings is 100. We'll have to take a variable, whatever amount of saving would be. So what I'm going to do is, this is question number 4. Let the savings of Gagan be rupees 100x. We have taken 100x. You could have taken x also. There is no problem. I am taking 100x. Now it is mentioned clearly. Gagan invested 80% of his savings. Now this is investment 1. So how much is the amount of investment? Sir, 80% of savings. How much is 80%? 80 upon 100 into 100x. So that will give you how much? Sir, 80x. Now imagine if I would have taken this as x, then my investment would have been 80% of x, which will result in 4x upon 5, which will result in fraction. I wanted to avoid the fraction, so for that reason I have taken 100x. If you take x and do the same sum with the same method what I am doing, you are going to get the same answer. So there is nothing to worry in that. I am taking 100x in order to avoid the fraction or a decimal. So Gagan invested 80% of his saving, that means his investment is 80x. See what else is given to us. So Gagan invested 80% of his savings in 10%. In 10% means rate of dividend is 10%. Rupees 100 share, that means face value of the share is rupees 100. So Gagan invested 80% of his savings in 10% rupees 100 shares at 20% premium. So what is the market price of the share? So market price is 100 plus 20% of 100 because 20% premium. That would be 120. So my dear friends, in case if I am interested in finding out number of shares, how will I find? So number of shares would be investment upon market price. What is my investment? So investment is 80x. What is the market price? Market price is 120. 0 cancels 0. 8x upon 12. That would be 2x upon 3. What is this 2x upon 3? So number of shares. Fantastic. So the entire profile of Gagan with respect to his investment is available. How much is the investment? 80x. What is the rate of dividend? 10%. Face value available. Market price available. Number of shares available. Exactly same way we are going to find investment 2 also. That means Gagan has distributed his saving in 2 types of investment. Investment 1 and investment 2. Let us see what information is available about investment 2. So they say, and the rest of his savings in 20% rupees 50 share. Rest of his savings means balance investment total was 100x, out of which 80x invested over here. So balance amount of investment would be 20x. Now the balance amount of investment, the rest of the investment the rest of his savings in 20% rupees 50 shares. Rate of dividend 20%. Rupees 50 share means face value is 50 at 20% discount. So the market price of the share is going to be 50 minus 20% of 50. So 50 minus 20% means 20 upon 100 into 50. 0, 0, 1s and 2s. That's going to be 50 minus 10. That's rupees 40. If I want to find out number of shares would be investment 20x upon market price. Same way. 0 cancels 0. X upon 2. So I know the number of shares. So my dear friends, as far as the investment profile is concerned, we are quite certain, quite clear that this is the investment profile in A, this is the investment profile in B of Mr. Gagan. It is mentioned that the total income received by him is 5,600. So dividend from this share plus dividend from this share. How do you find? Sir, dividend from investment 1. Investment 1 would be so this is the investment here and this is investment 2. So now what we will do? So we will create one equation. The equation will be dividend from this. Formula for dividend is number of shares. Number of shares, perfect, into face value. What is the face value? So 100. Rate of dividend, how much? 10%. Absolutely right. Plus investment for second one is profile is given to us. Can we find the dividend on this shares? Yes, sir. What is the dividend? Sir, same. Number of shares into face value 50 into rate of dividend 20%. Now this is given to us as 5600. So dividend from first category of investment plus dividend from second category of investment is 5600. 100 gets cancelled, 0 gets cancelled. Now what will happen? So we can further process this. 2x into 10, that's 20x upon 3 plus, so here 2 ones are 2 10, 2 ones are, it's gone. So 5x is remaining over here. 5x equals to 5600. 20x plus 15x upon 3 is 5600. When you solve this further, this becomes a linear equation, basic linear equation. 35x upon 3 equals to 5600. So my x is going to be 5600 into 3 upon 35. We can do this in 7 5s are 7 8s are 800 into 2400. So x would be 2400 upon 5. That's 480. So x equals to 480. What we have to find? We are not interested in finding out the value of x. We are interested in finding out the savings of Gagan. Therefore, Gagan's savings equals to 100x. That is 100 multiplied by 480. That will give me rupees 48,000. My friends, you need to have patience and you have to discipline yourself. Again, let me come back to the whole thing. It was given to us that Gagan has some amount of savings. We don't know what is the quantum of savings. So I presume let the savings be 100x. 80% of his saving was made in investment 1. 80% of savings, 80% of 100x, so 80x. Rate of dividend, it was given in 10%, rupees 100 share at 20% premium. So 100 plus 20%, 120. The entire investment profile is available. Number of shares not available. We found out the number of shares. Investment divided by market price, you will get number of shares, and we got number of shares. Once you find the number of shares, exactly the balance amount of investment would be, so 100x saving, 80 invested over here, so 20 would be invested. That means 20x in investment 2. Face value 50 given to us. We have invested at a discount. Rate of dividend available to us. Same way we can find the number of shares in second category of investment. It was given that the total income received, that means the total dividend from both the investment is 5,600. What do you mean by income? So income means dividend. Dividend is number of shares into face value into rate upon 100. Number of shares available. Face value available. Rate of dividend available. Same way we did for the other also. Second profile of investment. This is a simple linear equation. I found the value of x, which was 480, and then I got to know the savings of Mr. Gagan. What is the question asked? First thing, the question is calculate his investment in the shares on the whole. So his total investment is rupees 48,000. Find the number of shares of the first kind he bought. What was the number of shares? So 2x upon 3. So if I substitute what is N1, it will be 2 into the value of x is 480 upon 3. So basically if you go to see 3 ones are and 3 16s are. So 160 into 2. 160 into 2, 320 shares. So this is the answer to the second part of the question. The first part of the question is find out his total investment in shares. His total investment in shares was 100x, that is 48,000. The second part is find the number of shares of the first kind that he bought. That also we got to know, 320 shares. The third is percentage return on the shares bought on the whole. Now this is quite interesting. You have to find percentage return on the shares. That means they are expecting us to find out what is the total amount of return that he got on his total investment. So my answer is, what about his total investment? Sir, his total investment is 48,000. What about the return that he got? So he got 5600 as a total return. So rate of return would be return upon investment into 100. How much was his return? 5600. What was his investment? So 48,000 into 100. I'm sure this calculation can be done easily. When you will do this calculation, you will get 11 2/3 percentage, or you can say 11.6666 recurring. which will be approximately equal to 11.67 percentage. This would be your answer. Now, how do you find return? So very simple. This was a case of two different investments. So if you try and use the formula ROI, you will get ROI for the first share and ROI for the second share. You cannot get single ROI for both the shares because both the shares were invested at different price, different face value, different market price. So over here, in case if you want to find out return on investment, it's very simple. Return upon investment into 100. How you find percent profit? Sir, percent profit is profit upon cost into 100. Same way, return on investment will be return. Return means my total dividend, that is 5600. My total investment, which was 100x, found out 48,000 into 100. And when you do so, you will automatically get 11 to 3%, which would be 11.67 approximately. So this is how we have done question number 4. Although all these questions, you need to have lots of patience. First thing is you have to read the question carefully. I know that you know the formulas. Almost all the formulas are known to you and you are well versed with all the formulas. More importantly, what is needed is how you apply those formulas. So make sure that you exhibit good amount of discipline, patience while dealing with questions on shares and dividend. They have a weightage of roughly 7 marks in the exam and most of the questions are very simple. What students generally do mistake is that because of impatience, they don't read the question carefully and in haste, they create a blunder of themselves. So please avoid that, and I'm sure you guys are smart enough to understand the consequences of it. You will never make such mistake and you will focus absolutely on what exactly is expected from you. Alright, let's move on to the next question. Next question, question number 6. Now here in this question and many more questions like this, what's going to happen? Supposing let us say Mr. Ajay will buy A company shares. Now after holding A company shares for some time, he probably may be willing to sell those shares at a reasonable amount of profits. So he may exit from share A and will be tempted to buy share B. After purchasing share B, he is going to compare his income, what he used to get from share A and what he is getting in share B. Whether the change has brought a change in his income, whether his return on investment has gone up. Now these are the questions that will be answered depending upon what exactly is a question right in front of us. Let us read question number 6. Gopal has some rupees 100 shares of company A, paying 10% dividend. He sells a certain number of these shares at a discount of 20% and invests the proceeds in rupees 100 shares at rupees 60 of a company B, paying 20% dividend. If his income from these shares sold increases by rupees 18,000, find the number of shares sold by Gopal. I would rate this question as a most important question, very interesting question. First of all, he is selling some shares of the company A. Whatever money he got, with that money he is buying shares B. Now because he has bought now shares of company B, his income has gone up, and that is what exactly is given to us. Based on the information, we have to find out what exactly is the quantity of shares that he has sold of company A. So let the number of shares of company A sold by Gopal be X. Alright, let number of shares of company A sold be X. What information is available with us? Gopal has sold some rupees 100 shares. Now face value was rupees 100. This is for company A. Paying 10% dividend. So rate of dividend is 10%. How many shares are sold? So X number of shares are sold. He sells a certain number of these shares at a discount of 20%. So let us find out the selling price. So selling price would be face value is 100 minus 20% of 100. So 100 minus 20, that is rupees 80. Rupees 80 is the selling price. So what would be the sale proceeds? Sir, sale proceeds means how much money he is going to get by selling these shares. Since number of shares sold is X, the price at which the shares were sold is 80. So sale proceeds will be rupees 80x. Fabulous. What about his new investment? Sir, new investment in company B. So can you tell me how much is the amount invested? So amount invested is 80x. Let us read further. They say that he sells certain number of shares of this company at a discount of 20% and invests the proceeds in rupees 100 shares at rupees 60 of a company. So basically it's mentioned that invest the proceeds in rupees 100 shares at rupees 60 of a company. So the face value is 100, whereas the market price is rupees 60. This information is given to us in the question. He sells certain number of shares at a discount of 20% and invests the proceeds in rupees 100 shares, face value 100, at 60 of a company. B. Paying 20% dividend. Rate of dividend is 20%. He has taken a good move. He sold some shares. He sold at 20% discount. So selling price is 100 minus 20%. That's 80. So sale proceeds is X into 80, 80x. What about his new investment? So he invested the proceeds. So investment is 80x, face value 100, market price 60, rate of dividend 20%. Can one find the number of shares? Yes, sir. So number of shares would be investments, that is 80x, upon market price, that is 60. That will give you 4x upon 3. So number of shares are also found out. Now what is the final thing given to us? If this changes his income and it increases by rupees 18,000, I will read what to or what is given. If his income from the shares sold increases by 18,000, find the number of shares sold by Gopal. Now because of this change, his income has increased by how much? So the income has increased by 16,000 rupees. That is what is meant. 18,000 rupees. That is what is mentioned. So income from new shares minus income from old shares equals to 18,000. This information is given to us. Now when I am talking about income, what are we talking about? Sir, we are talking about dividend. So can you tell me dividend on these shares? Sir, dividend would be number of shares, face value, rate upon 100. Number of shares. So we are selling X shares. So number of shares X. Face value 100. Rate of dividend 10%. Subtract, cancel, 10x. So basically dividend from company A. This is dividend from company A is 10x. Income from new shares, that means company B, minus income from company A is 18,000. So what dividend we got from company A? So we got 10x. What dividend we got from company B? So dividend would be number of shares, 4x upon 3. Face value, rate upon 100. 100 cancels, 100, 4 2s are 80. 80x upon 3. This is the dividend from company B. So dividend from company B, 80x upon 3 minus dividend from company A, that is 10x, is 18,000. Take the LCM, 80x minus 30x equals to 18,000 multiplied by 3. What do you get? So 50x equals to 18,000 multiplied by 3. So x would be 18,000 multiplied by 3 upon 50. What do you get? 0 cancels 0. 1800. So that's going to be 2. 360 multiplied by 3. 1080. That is x. So the question asked is how many shares were sold by Gopal? So 1080 shares in all were sold by Mr. Gopal. My dear friend, the question is not difficult. The question need to be interpreted properly. I was holding this shares, company A. How many shares I sold? Sir, X. Face value given. Rate of dividend given. Can you find the dividend of company A? Number of shares, face value, rate upon 100, done sir. What happened to this shares? Sir, I am selling it. What price? 20% discount. 100 minus 20%, I am selling at 80. How many shares you are selling? X. So how much money you will get? Sir, 80 into X, 80X. What you are doing with this money? Of course, I am investing in investment B of a company. So new investment in company B. What is your investment? 80x. Face value given. Market price given. Rate of dividend given. This is information. I am not constructing it. I am constructing this N. How you find N? Say investment upon market price. Investment, and this is the market price. So you found out 4x upon 3. Dividend, number of shares, face value, rate upon 100. I got to know okay, dividend from company B is 80x upon 3. Since we know for a fact that income from new shares, that means B share, minus income from A share is 18,000. This is the income from B share. This one is the income from A share. Solve the equation and we get to know the value of X, that is the number of shares sold. This is how we do it. Let's move on to the next sum. Question number 8. Now this question is based on which is a better investment. I hope guys you remember that whenever we get a question which is a better investment, what we have to compare? We have to compare the ROI of both the companies. Whichever company gives higher ROI, that company would be selected and would be treated as a better invested company. Mr. Gupta has a choice to invest in 10 rupee shares of two firms. So basically, let us say we have two firms. Firm A, Firm B. Question number 8. What about the face value? So face value is 10. Here also face value is rupees 10. So Mr. Gupta has a choice to invest in two companies in 10 rupee shares of two firms at rupees 13 or at rupees 16. So at rupees 13 market price is rupees 13 and here the market price is rupees 16. So at rupees 13 or at rupees 16. If the first firm pays 5% dividend and the second firm pays 6% dividend. So rate of dividend 5%, rate of dividend 6%. Find which is a better investment. So ROI we have to find for A and ROI we have to find for B. What is the formula for ROI? Now for company A, face value into rate of dividend, market price into ROI for A. So what is the face value? So face value is 10. Rate of dividend 5. Market price 13. ROI no clue. So sir, ROI of A would be 50 upon 13. Now 50 upon 30%, we will check it out what exactly this transpires into. How about for B? For B, same formula, face value 10, rate of dividend 6, market price 16 into ROI of B. So 60 upon 16 equals to ROI of B. That will be how much? So we can divide by 4. So ROI of company B would be 15 upon 4. That is going to be 3.75%. with respect to 50 upon this 30, so it would be 50 divided by 13, 3.11, 50, 30, 3s are 39, 11, 110.8, 13, 8s are 104, so you get 60, 4s are 52, you get 8, so basically approximately 3.84, and again this number 78, 6, so it's going to be 3.85 approximately. So in short, return ROI of A is greater than ROI of B. Why? Because 50 upon 13% is greater than 15 upon 4%. So, my dear friends, the first part of the answer, as it states, which firm is paying better? So, first firm is paying better. Every time, whenever we get the question which firm is paying better, we will always find ROI. Simple formula for ROI. The only thing is we have compared the fractions. Another way of comparing the fraction is 50 upon 30 could have been compared with 15 upon 4. Sir, how? By taking the LCM. LCM would be 52 into 4 into 4. This is 200 upon 52 over here into 13 into 13. This will give you 52. 15 13s are 195. Since 200 is greater than 195, so of course first firm is giving you a better return as compared to the second firm. So the first part of the answer is done with. Let us move on to the second part of the answer. Now, second part is very interesting and one must understand what exactly is the second part trying to tell us. If Mr. Gupta invests equal amount in both the firms, find the difference between the returns from them is 30. Find how much in all does he invest. Now, the question what it says is Mr. Gupta would be investing equal amount in both the companies. That means the first firm, suppose let us say he is investing X. So in the second firm also he is going to invest X only. Now this resulted in difference in the income by rupees 30. So of course yes, the first firm must have given him more amount as compared to the second firm, because the return on investment on the first firm is more than the return on investment of the second firm. So we can get to know what is the amount invested in each firm. So let us start. Can I presume? Let his investment in each firm be rupees X. So how much money he is going to get from firm A? So since he is investing X, so X into return on investment is 50 upon 30%. So into 50 upon 13%. So we take 1300. Absolutely perfect. Less. What about the return of investment on the other company? So from the other company we are getting 15 upon 4%. So X into 15 upon 4%. So 400. And the difference is given to us as 30. So income from A company minus income from B company equals to 30. Now one would say, sir, why we are doing like this? Why can't we find the dividend and then we compare? In case if you would like to do so, you can do that way also. I'll show you that as an alternative way. It's given to us that ROI of A is 50 upon 13%. That means whatever I invest, I'm going to get 50 upon 13% on my investment. I invested X, so 50 upon 13%. In the second company, I invested X, so return is 15 upon 4%. When you compare, what do you get? So 0 cancels 0. 5x upon 130 minus 15x upon 400 equals to 30. Now what to do? So the LCM will be 5200, 40 and 13. This into this, so 5 4s are 20. 200x minus 195x upon 5200 equals to 30. 5x equals to 5200 into 30. So x will be 5200 into 30 upon 5. Now just to make denominator as 10, so it can get easily cancelled. 52 6 that means 520 multiply by 60. 0 0. 52 into 6 312. So in each firm he must have invested 31,200. So investment in A would be 31,200. Investment in B 31,200. His total investment would be 62,400. My dear friends, the question is quite simple. We have already compared. We know that what is his return on investment? Sir, from A, the return on investment is 50 upon 30%. What about B? So we are getting return on investment of 15 upon 4%. 15 upon 4%. That is the return of investment on B. How much I am investing in X? So let us assume that investment in each firm be rupees X. So since from the first firm you are getting 50 upon 13%, so X into 50 upon 13% minus B firm, I am investing X. What is the return? 15 upon 4. So X into 15 upon 4%. The difference of income is 30 rupees. When you solve this linear equation, you get the value of X. X is 31,200. Since we know the value of X means the amount of investment made in each firm. So in each firm he has invested 31,200. So the investment in both the firms put together would be 31,200 multiplied by 2. That's 62,400 rupees. With this we have completed with this sum. Let's move on to the next one. Question number 10. A man invested 45,000 in 15% rupees 100 shares quoted at 125. So investment is 45,000. Question number 10. A man invested 45,000 rupees. A man invested 45,000 in 15% rupees 100 shares. Rate of dividend 15%. Face value, sir, rupees 100 shares. Alright. What else is given to us? Quoted at 125. So market price of the shares rupees 125. When the market value of these shares rose to 140, he sold some shares just enough to raise 8,400. So sale proceeds, that means the money collected from selling the shares, is rupees 8,400. What about the selling price? So selling price of the share is 140 because it is given to us in the question that though he bought the shares at 125, but when the price of the shares rose to 140, he sold sufficient number of shares. How many shares? That is not mentioned. But he sold when the price was 140. Since sale proceeds are given to us, we can say sale proceeds, the money collected from sale of shares, is number of shares multiplied by selling price. 8,400, number of shares not known, selling price 140. Therefore, number of shares will be 8,400 divided by 140. That gives me 60 shares. So the first part of the answer, find out how many shares, find the number of shares he still holds. How many shares he has sold is available. How many he holds? Sir, investment is 45,000. So number of shares that he purchased would be investment upon market price. I hope you are understanding. Very simple. We follow the same formula. Investment is 45,000. What about the market price? 125. So when we find this, we get 360 shares. So a man was holding 360 shares. This information is given to us in the question. I found out this one, number of shares 360. Sale proceeds 8400, selling price 140. So the number of shares, you can apply the formula and get 60 shares sold. So number of shares he still holds. How many shares he will hold? The number of shares he still holds would be 360 minus 60. That's 300 shares. This is the first part of our question. What about the second one? The dividend due to him on this remaining shares. Dividend is number of shares multiplied by face value multiplied by rate upon 100. Since we know we are left with 300 shares, face value 100. What about the rate of dividends of 15%? So 15 upon 100, 100. 15 threes are rupees 4500 is the amount of dividend which is going to get on those shares. So my friends, question number 10 sorted. Let's move on to question number 12. A dividend of 12% was declared on rupees 150 shares selling at a certain price if the rate of return is 10%. So my dear friends, rate of dividend 12%. Rupees 150 shares, that means the face value is 150. Selling at a certain price, market price is not given. If the rate of return is 10%. So question number 12. Rate of dividend 12%. What about the face value? Sir, rupees 150. Return on investment. That is also given to us, I guess, 10%. What about the market price of the share? We can use the formula face value multiplied by rate of dividend equals to market price multiplied by ROI. Face value 150. RD 12. Market price we have to find. ROI 10. Therefore, market price equals to 150 multiplied by 12 upon 10. That gives us rupees 180. So the first part of the question, the market price of the share, each share will be 180 rupees. Second part, the amount to be invested to obtain an additional annual dividend of 1350. See, whatever dividend you were receiving, that you are bound to receive. I want additional dividend. That means I want to earn 1350 rupees more. Whenever we get a question on additional dividend, you presume your additional dividend is nothing but dividend. That means in order to earn a dividend of 1350, what would be the number of shares that you should have bought? So, if the dividend is 1350 that you are expected to receive, so expected dividend is 1350. We have all the information, relevant information with respect to face value, with respect to rate of dividend. So we can use that data, find the amount to be invested to obtain an annual dividend of 1350. So how many shares you should be buying? We don't know, because I want to earn this much dividend. What about the face value? Sir, face value is 150 rupees. What about the rate of dividend? Sir, rate of dividend is 12%. So, can I say dividend equals to number of shares into face value into rate upon unrate? How much is the dividend? 1350. What about the number of shares? We don't know. What about the face value? 150. What about rate of dividend? Sir, it's given to us 12%. So, how do we function? 0 cancels 0. 5 2s are 5 3s are. 1350 equals to 1s are 6s are. N into 18. So N is going to be 1350 upon 18. Can we divide by 3? 4, 5, 0 upon 6. Can you further divide by 6? Yes, sir. 42, 7s are, and 5s are. So what are the number of shares? Sir, number of shares should be 75. What is the amount to be invested? Sir, investment would be number of shares into market price. How many shares? 75. Or what price? 150. So when you multiply 75 into 75 into 2, so 25, 7 8s are 56 into 2, 56, 56, 56, 0, 5, 12, guys, I don't think so. Okay, this was a difficult one compared to all the sums that we have done so far. This was the easiest question. So one must invest 11,250 in order to get additional dividend or a dividend of 1350. With this, question number 12 comes to an end. Let's move on to question number 14. We move on to question number 14. And question number 14 is one of the most extraordinary question in the entire exercise. Most of the time students have approached me for doubt and difficulty related to this question. Question number 14. It's given to us in the question that Mr. Shamin invested 33 1/3% of his savings. So let the total investment be rupees X. Since the total investment is rupees X, we would say not investment, sorry, total savings equals to rupees X. Now this saving is diversified into, let us say, investment A and investment B. Since we know investment over here is given is 33 1/3% of savings. It's clearly given to us. Now this would be 33 into 3, 99 plus 1, 100 upon 3% of X. That would be 100 upon 300 multiplied by X, which would be X upon 3. So this is his investment in A. Now what type of investment is this? So they have mentioned 33 1/3% of his saving in 20% rupees 50 shares quoted at 60 rupees. So rate of dividend 20%. What about the face value? So it is given as rupees 50. What about the market price? Sir, it is rupees 60. Can we find the number of shares? Of course, sir. Number of shares would be investment upon market price. How much is the investment? Sir, X upon 3. What is the market price? Sir, 60. So finally the number of shares would be X upon 180. Since I know that my total savings is X, what is the amount invested in A? Sir, X upon 3. Therefore, investment over here would be X minus X upon 3. Man lo, this would have been 1000. You invested 600 over here. So investment in B would be, so 1000 minus 600, 400. If this would be 1 lakh, this would be 80,000. So 1 lakh minus 80,000, 20,000. Here it is X, total savings, of which how much got invested in A? So X upon 3. So balance left X minus X upon 3. How much it will come up to? 3X minus X upon 3. That will give me 2X upon 3. This is the amount of investment. Now as far as investment is concerned, we know the investment in B. What are the other things or information given to us? Remainder of his savings in 10%, rupees 100 shares quoted at 110. Remainder of his savings in 10%. So rate of dividend 10%. Rupees 100 shares. So face value is rupees 100. Quoted at rupees 110. So can we find out the number of shares? Yes, sir. Number of shares would be investments upon market price. How much is the investment? 2x upon 3. How much is the market price? 110. So 2x upon 3 into 110, that will give you x upon 100 and 150. 55 threes are 165. So my dear friends, we found out the number of shares for investment category B also. Since we know now the number of shares that we bought in investment A and the number of shares that we invested in B, so total income would be dividend that one receives from A plus dividend that one receives from B. As we know that the total amount of dividend is given to us in the question, the total amount of dividend is given to us as 9,200. How do you get dividend from A? Sir, find the number of shares. X upon 180. Number of shares multiply by face value. Face value 50 and rate of dividend 20%. 50 into 20%. What about for B? So for B, number of shares X upon 165 into face value 100 into rate of dividend 10%. It will be a simple linear equation. 0, 0, 0, 0, 180, 18, 5 2s are 10. So we are left with X upon 18 plus 0, 0, 0, 0, 2s are 33s are. So 2x upon 33, which is going to be 9200. LCM of 18 and 33, it's going to be 198. So 11 and 6, 11x plus 12x equals to 9200. 23x is equals to 9200 multiplied by 198. X 9200 multiplied by 198 upon 23. My dear friends, 1s are and 4s are. So what do you get? So 400 multiplied by 198. My dear friends, we have reached the climax. Now I did the question by taking my total saving as X, whereas in the previous question in Gagan, I took this as 100x. If you notice that question, you will see that we did not get fractions with respect to investments, with respect to number of shares. We got hell lot of fractions over here. So our calculation was little difficult. But when you take this total savings as 3x or 300x, you will be able to minimize your calculation. You can try and do that by taking either 3x or 300x. Your answer is going to be the same. Question number 15 to question number 20, they are all the questions which were asked in the board's exam in the past paper. Question number 1 to question number 14, all the odd number of questions including question number 15 to 20, I expect all of you to do by yourself and test your knowledge whether you are comfortably able to get the solution to all those questions. I am pretty confident. I am sure you guys will get it at first shot. I'm sure about the fact that this chapter will bring lots and lots of cheer to you, as it's also connected to various commercial usage. Thank you so much for watching this, and I hope you will do complete justice to your work. Thank you.